Hello, everyone. What's going on? Everyone's doing well, I hope. Mhm. Mhm. Hello, 15 people here already. Cool. I'm doing good. Had another great interview today. Very happy to be doing these. Everyone in the chat, if you are be so kind to do so, can you let me know how you found out about me? Which show? It'd be interesting to see where everyone came from. Except for Michio, she came from Meetup. Purple Cloud came from Zoom and Meetup, which I don't use anymore. Hmm. Hmm. Found me through Divinity. Yesterday, I mean, this show, I mean, what other place? Was it another show? You found? How did you find me, everyone? So I've done 3 that haven't aired yet that we recorded. One is with through a glass darkly. Um, the one before that was um, called A Cult of Personality. And the one today was called The Pythalian Witch. Or Priestess. Priestess, not witch. Hope she didn't hear that. It's the Pythalian Priestess. So those are coming. I'm very excited about them. They all went so well. No, I don't have it. They recorded it. It's not mine. But I am going to. Maybe. Oh. So no one's here from either um, Typical Skeptic. I've been on Typical Skeptic. I've been on what was the other one? Gnostic Bite Radio. So I've been on those, right? That those have aired. Gnostic Bite and Typical Skeptic. Okay, Cindy here. My friend says that she knows a fair bit about Shintoism and that they deal with a lot of demons. I have looked and I can't find that. Do you think? I think she knows nothing about Shintoism. I think she knows nothing about it. She knows 0%. Hey, what do you think about that comment or what that person says, Michio? Yeah, she has absolutely nothing. She has absolutely no idea what she's talking about. And if she's Christian, in their worldview, there's only 2 types of spirits that are non-human, and those are angels and demons. So it's a very simplistic view in the first place. Yeah, so there you go. That should that should tell you right there. And let's not forget that you know I mean, let's not forget that Christian nations have a high crime rate, a high violent crime rate, and Japan has turned into a country in the last 70, 80 years. Um, that's among the most, has the lowest violent crime rate in the world, even per population. And not only that, despite some of the things, despite the Warring States period in the ancient world, Japan was also one of the safest places in the ancient world. So, I mean, I don't know how the indigenous kind of spirituality is demonic. It has a demonic effect on the population. So the logic doesn't make any sense, even in spiritual terms. Oh, Christians think that anything that's not Christian is demonic. I was answering Joe's um, Cindy's, Joe and Cindy's comment. Yeah, there's Kathy. How's the Qigong going for you, Bo? I'm gonna let him in a second. Mafia bosses were really Christian. It's true. It's true. Hmm. And it was the safest place for women in the ancient world, and it was the safest place to be a peasant or serf in the ancient world. Great, Karen. Good, Mo. Good, good, good. They'll say so. But the retort I normally get from that is like, well, Japanese people, they don't want to have families, or there's a population crisis. But I mean, um, what was I get? What do I normally say to that? Um, yeah, but they don't. The other problems don't exist. They do to a little bit, but there's also been a lot of foreign influence, especially for the past 20 years. 20 years. So that's maybe that says a lot in itself, right? So who's actually bringing the demons in? Not that foreigners are that, but I mean, I'm talking about religion and spirituality. By the way, I saw a real demon in the evangelical mega preacher. Hopefully, that doesn't invoke that. Yeah, they have a lot going on in those places. um, what is it? Wealth Ministry, it's called. Prosperity Ministry, pros, pros, whatever it's called. Mm. Well, I mean, I don't think there's ever not been a time where it's had problems, Chris, to be honest. So they do. Wealth Ministry, yeah. Yeah, it is. Hi, Jason. So I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to give it 10 minutes or so. Then I have something to say and something to communicate. As you guys may noticed for the past week, I've lost about um, a dozen people that were pretty consistent, but all at the same time. I just want to talk about that a little bit. It's my fault, and I will explain. I will explain. But with that being said, there's nothing dangerous or anything like that. So give me a second, I'll explain. I mean, when wasn't it a perversion? Was it when the Church of England was in power? Was it when was it not with the Spanish mystery, the conquistadors traveling to the New World? Was it during the Crusades? Was it during the Salem witch trials? Mhm. Anyway, my point is, it's not as perfect as people like to. I'm not speaking to the truth of it or lack thereof, or however people see it. Um, the fact is, there's a lot of problems within the structure, and no one wants to admit that. Hmm. And that's considering if he was ever a person who ever walked this earth. We don't actually know that for sure. Okay, let me let him in. Give me a second, guys. Come on, my buddy. Come on, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, my buddy. Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now Fraser's like, what about me? Yeah, that's my buddy. That's my buddy. Just a cord. He's afraid of the cord. It's okay. All right. Kathy wants to lead the session. He always wants to lead the session. This is true, Chris. But yeah, but Christians. A lot of Christians don't even consider Catholics Christian. If you ask them, it's like they won't. They don't even know that it's the same. A lot of evangelicals, they have no idea that Catholicism is actually Christian. Yeah, and the Gnostic Christians believe something entirely different. That is correct. I love this guy. This is my buddy. And who else wants to, you know, stand outside my door crying to come and see me? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 24 people tonight. so far. One who is a... Yeah, speaking of that, I'm going to... Oh my gosh, Kathy. You get so hairy. That's because it's hot. I don't know where you got that information, Spidey, but I'm going to repeat it. I have never heard that. It's from an ancient Greek text. I don't know anything about that. There's no letter J in the Hebrew. Hmm. The original Greek manuscripts of what? Hey, buddy. He's making biscuits on my lap. Five minutes, guys. I'll start my talk, then we'll get right into the healing. Then I'm going to get some sleep and get up and do schoolwork. Any new people here tonight who have never been here before? Well, it was a convolution of different scriptures, right? And they put in the ones they won and threw out the ones that they didn't. But anyway, it has no bearing here. And I'm the one doing the healings now in exchange for cat food and bread. Cat food, college tuition, and pork grinds. That's what I asked for in charge of my healing. Ready? 3 minutes. Any substantial changes for anyone lately from those? Pork rind. Well, especially the ones with the cinnamon, Rhonda. Those are spectacular. Cinnamon pork rinds. No new people tonight? Lots shifting? Good. I haven't checked out your podcast selections. I just did 3 that haven't aired, but I certainly will check them out. You were mentioned with 3 few left at once. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. I mean, I don't eat anything in excess. I think that's the point, guys. And there is a time, there are right times to fast. Mm, good, Sydney. Whenever you feel like it's the best time to fast. And there's definitely times where I'll just eat vegetables, things like that. Half fast noon. 31. Any new people tonight? Is everyone returning? I know only about 7 to 10 of you are actually saying anything. It helps the algorithm when the chat is lively, guys. So make sure you like the video too. Chat away. At least put some emojis in the chat. Yeah, I said I answered Spidey. I said not yet. I just did 3 podcasts. I'll get to those. I had one today. I will email those ones. Hi Melanie. Hi Karen. All right. Hi Shadow Fire Society. You sound like an X-Men villain. Anyone else? All right. Ready for tonight's thing? I want to speak honestly. I mean, there's something I want to speak honestly about tonight. So recently, during one of these live Misogi purification sessions, I introduced something pretty new. Well, new to everyone here. Um, as you know, or may have known, if you were here, those were the Enochian calls, which is an ancient Western magical system tied to like angelic languages and energies. And I decided to integrate a small portion of that work into my regular clearings. I only used 6 of the 48 calls, but even that was enough to shift something. And after that session, a noticeable number of my regular participants stopped showing up. At first, I didn't really know why. I was talking to Jade, and she had a vision of an all-seeing eye on top of a pyramid surrounded by bubbles. A lot of times, our answers come in that imagery form, especially. So but that energy, I thought about that, and it actually spoke volumes. So the all-seeing eye is a symbol that's associated with surveillance, control, and hierarchical spiritual systems. Um, the pyramid is a structure of power, not flow. And the bubbles, it felt like fragmented boundaries or scattered perceptions and things no longer grounded. And it was like a reflection of what had happened. So, as you may have noticed, despite the long Japanese um, words, I guess, um, Misogi is pretty simple. There's no ritual tools. You don't need um, anything. You don't have to do any movements. You don't have to change directions. It's it's pretty direct, and it's elemental, and it honors nature, the body, and the spirit in its raw and rooted state, which is why you can actually mostly feel it right from the beginning. The kami who respond to these purifications are not part of any hierarchy. They're primordial. They respond to sincerity, clarity, and presence. They are the currents of nature itself, and they don't demand obedience. They don't care what you do. They'll attempt to purify anyone or help anyone. And they don't operate through fear or spectacle, as you know, or may have noticed. Um, they move pretty quietly and deeply and cleanly, and their work isn't flashy, it's real. Enochian energy, on the other hand, is something else entirely. It comes from a Western ceremonial tradition built on angelic command, judgment, celestial warfare. Hence, why some of you, or at least one of you, saw something grab like a spear, like it was going to battle, and structured order. Um, it channels through complex grids and divine names, and it works best in environments where the practitioner is prepared to engage with immense and often volatile forces. It's not evil, but it's not Shinto. And more importantly than that, it doesn't mix. And I think I kind of learned that the hard way. Um, I think I wanted to show or try to show people that I could do just more than just one thing. And there's a differentiation between different things. I wanted to try to show people that these things are all different, and the way that I'm doing them has like a reason and purpose, and and a mechanic to it that's very particular. That's this thing and not another thing. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. So even using a few of the calls, remember we just did 6 of 48, the energetics of the session shifted, and many of you, whether consciously or not, felt that. And some people felt really unsettled and overwhelmed, or even watched, right? Or even watched. And some and I don't think any of them actually knew why. Only that something had changed and it didn't feel right. And that's not what these sessions are for. And I take kind of full responsibility for that, allowing that current to touch a space that was meant to be clean, safe, and clear. But I also think it was important, on the other hand, to show people that the difference between one thing and another. Because as far as other things, um, um, we're only told about them. Very rarely do we get to actually feel them and experience them. So in spiritual work, intention matters, but so does precision. And always say that. The architectural, the architecture of different systems holds a weight of their own. And Enochian work was designed for a completely different paradigm. And what became clear to me is that these currents are not neutral. When you bring in something as precise and coded as Enochian calls, you don't just summon its symbols, you summon their frameworks, their demands, and their contracts. And to those of the people who pulled the way, I completely understand and I hear them. And they haven't said anything to me, but I've already taken steps to restore what was disrupted. Um, and that Enochian current has already been released, especially for the people that have kept coming, and for the people who haven't too. And this everything has been purified and with repeated Misogi rites. And I've asked the kami to close what was open and restore balance where things were sort of shaken. One person actually said he felt shaking. No. But with that being said, it wasn't harmful, right? There's nothing harmful about it. And I want to be honest about something else. As a practitioner, I tend to explore, I test things, and I push, but my commitment is always to truth and not novelty. I some If something destabilizes a space or dims the clarity, it it goes. Um, it goes. That's not a failure, but it's discernment. So I kind of look at it that way. I'm trying to teach people how to discern. But it's not about rejecting curiosity or growth either. It's about recognizing that not every system is meant to be blended. That some forces, even when fascinating or very interesting, don't belong in certain spaces, and what works must serve and not disrupt the clarity we're all seeking. So this doesn't really need to be supplemented. It's not a spectacle. It's ancient, powerful, and complete in itself. That's what many of you came for, and that's what we're going to keep returning to. With that being said, the Greek and Egyptian systems are on the same current. So I'm going to keep doing some of that too when the times come. So that's pretty cool. Um, and Yeah, so yeah, for to those of you who just push past that and decided to keep trusting me, thank you. For everyone who stayed, and I want to say thank you to those who kind of stepped back too. I honor both choices. They people are kind of listening to their own spirit, and that's what something to be respected. So anyway. Wasn't here for you. So, does anyone know what the Enochian rites are? So, the Enochian rites is summoning a legion of angels to do a sort of clearing too. But it's a bit different. It's a bit different. They target different things and they clear different things. But it's different. No, I was just reading, Spidey. I wasn't channeling. Like I said, what I did, it wasn't evil. It was just militaristic. Yeah, I blocked that day out. Well, yeah, Buddhism can synergize with it, but so can ancient Greek and Egyptian religion too, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, I'll do stuff like that. I will do the Orphic hymns. I will do some Egyptian stuff when the time comes. Um, but yeah, no, I'm not going to do the Enochian stuff again. It's not good. It serves the slave matrix at the end of the day, right? It's structured. We're trying to break free of that. We're trying to break free of tyranny. Tyranny and hierarchy. It's a clearing too. It gets rid of stuff within your etheric field, but it doesn't have much discernment. It just arbitrarily starts pulling stuff out, even stuff that's not ready to get out yet, and without really much regard to the person, because it's more about cosmic order. And when they see and when um, Enochian spirits see an impurity, they'll they'll get rid of it. So even if it will harm the person's structure, I mean, it doesn't harm it in the long run, obviously, but it could be more than the person could handle. But even so, um, people had stuff removed way before they were ready to have it removed, and they felt like some felt they were like they were being watched. No, Morales, no. It's just the one I did. When I say a name or when I do a hymn, it opens the boundaries between the vowel, and whatever I call sets forth. That's the structure of my ability in a very potent and um, easily easily perceived way. Exactly, Zizi. All right. With that being said, anyone new tonight? We are going to do the healing and the clearing. And before we start, be reminded um, I am doing one-on-one healings. You're always welcome to come. You could fall asleep. They still work. Any new people who've never been here? There's 37 people here. You could. People ask for about payment. You could pay me by just saying hi. You know, hello goes a long way. And of course, if you'd like to book a one-on-one session, I do those too. We're able to go a bit deeper with those, and they are worth it. They're only $60. Get in yours while you can. I am leaving on the 18th. I am going to limit my sessions. I'm going to still try to do the group somehow, but the one-on-ones, I'm going to just have to be able to do like one or two a day. So get in if that. So get in while you can. Hi, Allison. Jason, actually, did you watch my video about why did you watch my latest video about trauma? That's what I'm talking about. That would have made someone not come back. So it says a lot that you're here. It's not the attachment. It was whatever's traumatizing you being lifted. I've had to gone through that too. And I realized, oh yeah, I just did a session on myself. We're about to start. Explain very absolutely. Did you watch the video? Watch that video, Jason. I explain how it works. It's basically I explain in the video for those of you who haven't watched it that there's a trauma release aspect to this, and when that's being released, you go through what Jason is basically describing here. Let me turn the comments on. Is describing here, and when that structure is removed, because we've covered it up with to protect ourselves, it doesn't feel great, especially if we try to maintain this aura of toughness or steadfastness. And I guess the next question is, well, why does trauma need to be cleared? Well, it needs to be cleared because it distorts our perception of the world. We, if we carry trauma, we see the world through the lens of the wound. So it does release. It's only going to last a day or so, and you'll feel better. But think of it that way. And also pay attention to see if your worldview is changing. If we don't recognize that may have happened, we might not even notice the release. So, yeah, I'm glad you said something. I'll never work again if I do that. Do what? Hi, Tom. We're about to start, guys. I didn't even know you've been coming here, Allison. Well, that's because you were probably doing some Enochian magic for some time, Morales. This is really going to do more for you. It really will. So, anyways, is everyone ready? Yeah, it kind of hurts. I lost some people I really like too, which kind of stinks. Long day. I see. Okay. All right. Everyone ready? Allison has been coming for a long time. She was back from the Zoom days, the beginning of the Zoom and meetup days, when I would just do twice a day. I used to do twice a day, every day, and like sometimes 2 or 3 people would show up. Mostly it was like under 10. So everyone's ready. Zoom days were so real. Allison's gonna be the first one to be like, yeah, he was. It was great until he commercialized back in the Zoom days before dude sold out. Nah, some left to do to bowling. There was some of that, Jason. So, but I think it was more the calls. It really was, whether they realize it or not. Mm. Before I revealed my identity. I did a whole interview in a ninja mask. So I just really want people to know and understand what it is. And if you're trying to just develop extrasensory perception, you cannot have that trauma in the way because it will distort your vision, your extrasensory vision. So that's why it's important. And that's why it's hit pretty quickly. Here we go. Amaterasu mi oyano tamino mitsu maru no 命照らし国静かなり天照らすみ親の神のみすまるの命照らし国静かなり天照らすみ親の神のみすまるの命照らし国静かなり天照らすみ親の神のみすまるの命照らし国静かなり月よみつみ親の神の一家の思う月に綴りて鏡のことし月よみつみ親の神の一家の思う月に綴りて鏡のことし月よみつみ親の神の一家の思う月に綴りて鏡のことし高天張にかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すめみおやかむ、いざなぎのおかみつくしのひまけの立花のほどのあわぎがはれに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときに、あれませる。はらいどのおかみたち、もろもろのまがことつみかいりよ。払いたまい、極めたまいと申すことのよしよ。天つ神、国つ神、や、夜ずの神たちともに引こしめすと、かしこみもます。高天張りにかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すめみ、おやかむ、 イザナギの神尽くしの品格の立花の報道の仰ぎが春に、みそぎ、払い、玉石、時にありませる。払いどの狼たち、もろもろの間がごと罪がいるよ。払いたまい、清めたまいと申すことのよしよ。あまつかみ、国つかみ、や、よりずの神たちともに引こしめすと、かしこみ、かしこみ、もます。どうすの神、あまてらします。すみみ神の耳を伝えて教え導きのたまわく。人はすなわち神と神とのもとのあるじたり、感じらの真摯の痛ましむることなかで、この家に目にもろもろの風情を見て、心にもろもろの風情を見ず、耳にもろもろの風情を聞いて、心にもろもろの風情を聞かず、口にもろもろの風情を言って、心にもろもろの風情を言わず、身にもろもろの風情に触れて、心にもろもろの風情に触れず、心にもろもろの風情を思うとも、中心にもろもろの風情を思わず、この時に清く潔きことあり、もろもろのノリは影と形のことし、清く清ければ汚れることなし、ことをとらばえべからず、皆花よりずの身とはなる。我が身はすなわち六根処女なり、六根処女なりがゆえに、ごぞの真剣兄なり、ごぞの真剣兄なりが、ゆえに父の神とどこなり、父の神とどこなりが、ゆえに万物の霊と体なり、万物の霊と体なりが、ゆえになすところにごて成就せずということなし、無常霊法、真珠仏教、天上無休、名流書、神奈川列、払いたまい、清めたまい、守りたまい、先はいたまい、照らしたまい、導きたまい。高めの春にかむずまります。すめ神たち、いやわらしとも、時すの水の宝持ちて、あまてる国てるひけ雨のほあかり、くしたま、ねぎはやひのみことに、しずけたもこと教えてのたまわけ、いまし、この水の宝持ちて、中つくりにあま下り、あひとぐさ沈め収めよ。あひとぐさおよび、よりずのものの病のことあらば、かむ宝持ちて、みくらいた沈みに起きて、みたま沈みの祭りを、なして水の宝を振るべ、そのかむほぎの言葉に曰く、木のい木のと、火のい火のと、土のい土のと、かのいかのと、水のい水のと、ひふみよ、いむなやこと。にのとふるべゆれいだ。かく祈りせばまかりともさらにきなとしとも。雨の神の実を闇ことのりかけてまいて。雨の意は船に乗りて、河内の国の川上の怒る画面に天下りましまして。大和の国、引けの山のふもと、白庭の高庭に移しましまして月祭りとも、なぜけいてイスの神の神ともしたて祭り。よよ、かむ宝を持ちて、よりずのもののために、古べのかむごと持ちて、しかしなした家の古の見た目の神と、敬い、たて祭り。すめ、みこと、おもらじ、おとどその神とききを持ちて、いつきに使い祭りとも、もののべの神の社、雨がした、 よりずのものの類なりでもっとかむたからは、いわゆる、おきつ鏡、平つ鏡、やつくの剣、いく玉、たる玉、まかる返しの玉、ちい返しの玉、おろちのひれ、はちのひれ、くすぐすのもののひれ、さらにとくすの神、木のい木のと、火のい火のと、土のい土のと、かのいかのと、水のい水のと、ひふみよいむなやこと。二のと古べゆらといら。かしたてまつることのよしをもちて、平らきくきこしめせと、命長く、子孫はね、時はかきわに、守りたまい、先はいたまい、かじたてまつり、人数寿命しにきかじ。Everyone breathe, relax. とかみ、えみたも、看護師、ソニカンダケン、払いたまい、極めたも。Now let the energies work. たがあまはりにかむずまります。カムラギ、カムラミのみこともして、せめみおやかむ、いざなぎのかみつくしのひむくの、立花のおどの、あぎがはるに、みそぎ、はらい、たまいし、ときに、ありませる。はらいどの狼たち、もろもろのまがごとつみかいりょう。 払いたまい清めたまいと申すことのよしを。天つかみ、急につかみ、夜ずの神たちともに引っ越しますと。かしこみ、もまおす。高あまはりにかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すめみ、おyeかむ、いずなぎの神つくしの、ひむくの、立花の、おどの、あぎがはれに、みそぎ、払い、たまいし、時に、あれませる。払いどの、お神たち、もろもろのまがことつみかいりょう。払いたまい、清めたまいと申すことのよしよ。天つかみ、国つかみ、夜ずの神たちともに引っ越しますと。かしこみ、もまおす。高あまはりにかむずまります。かむろぎ、かむろみのみこともして、すめみ、おやかむ、いざなぎの神つくしのひむくの、立花の、おどの、あおぎがはるに、みそぎ、払い、たまいし、時に、あれませる。払いどの、お神たち、もろもろのまがことつみかいりょ。払いたまい、清めたまいと申すことのよしよ。天つ神、国つ神、夜ずの神たちともに引っ越しますと。かしこみ、もまおす。かんながらたまちやませ。かんながらたまちやませ。かんながらたまちやませ. All right, everyone, that's the first one. How was it? I don't need these on. How was that? 40 people here. Nice. Mondays are always good. If you haven't done it yet, or if you would like to help me out, book a one-on-one session. The link is in my description for this live video. I need about a couple thousand more dollars for my program. I have to have it by the 17th, 18th. So I want to get everyone in it that by then. The one-on-ones are worth it. Jade helps me. We're able to go deeper and we pull some stuff up. Listen, Jason's getting all these feels. Before it's like, when he first started, it's like, I'm not feeling anything. You'll come out of the mood quickly, Jason. Don't worry. I'm not making fun of you. It's normal. You will get out of it. Well, they only give you as much as you can actually handle, Jason, at one time. Right? They won't do anything that you can. Sometimes you might feel like you can't handle it, but you can. You can. So who's booking an appointment? Any takers? And also too, if you really don't want to do it, I do these little donations. Whatever you can do is very useful and helpful. I am almost to where I'm going to sell a bunch of my stuff. I'm going to sell my 3 paintings, my oil paintings I did. So you put those on the wall. They might be worth something someday, I hope. Good, Thomas. What do you feel that was removed? Hi, R2. Go my neck, right eye, right brain. Cool. Okay, we could do that, Jason. I haven't forgot about scheduling you either, R2. But yeah, I will. So if you want to do it to chip in for someone who can't afford it, just put in a note, however you donate, and I will put it to somebody who cannot afford these at all, and is in physical pain. Yeah, yes and no, Joe. It depends. Like you can just do these. It just takes longer. If we can really get in deep, um, it just brings you that much ahead. But if you don't have it, I'd rather just people to come here. I don't want to force people to do that. With that being said, I try to make it as accessible as possible. It's not too expensive. The meerkat position, nice. It hits you. Cool. You're ready, Jason. You're ready because you're here. I imagine my own self spiked through my back in the bottom of a ravine, and my newer self was happier. Great. Nice. Yeah, if you're at home alone and you don't have anything to do and you're trying to find something, I recommend some of these nice online drawing courses and communities. They're really cool. They're not that expensive and they have a community where you could like post your work. You know, no one puts anyone down. It's really cool. There's a bunch of them. Um, when did I do the Nokia? They were different. If if you were here, you'd remember. That might be fun for you, Spidey. I'm taking one. I'm taking something with the university. The other one this summer because I want to post more stuff and do more work. but like people become depressed because they don't have anything to do. But there are things that you can do, and little hobbies you can take up and be content and have fun. I mean, this is one, but I urge people to do other stuff too, like draw and paint or do photography. You know, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of followers or a lot of buyers or if you sell a lot of pieces. It really matters at the end of the day is that you enjoy doing it. For now, play music exactly. Exactly. Learn to play the piano, learn to play a keyboard, something. And, you know, you might not even be like, I mean, I wouldn't put it that way, John, but, you know, it's good to keep busy and do something. When people try to, um, instead of trying to become happy, try to keep yourself occupied because it leads to, you know, more fulfillment and it becomes enjoyable too. Gardening is a good hobby. Gardening, growing your own food, experimenting with plants and greenhouses and tree. All that stuff is great. You absolutely should, Spidey. And with that, do some of the courses online courses. Some community colleges, they have um, piano courses. Get out in nature, make hiking a hobby, bird watching. I mean, people make fun of it, but people enjoy taking pictures or finding certain species. It's relaxing and enjoyable. And it's a simple thing that could be very fulfilling. It's like usually when I communicate with people are depressed or don't know what to do or how to get out of it, it's because they never really thought about doing something. Everybody thinks about doing something as needing to be perceived as successful at it, which you don't need that. You do it for yourself. You find your own purpose. Just give it time. 時間が必要です。Jason, the film industry is tough right now. Right now, it's in a place that you kind of have to find things to do within it, in between paid gigs that you enjoy. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, in a lot of ways, I'm in the same boat. I've had so many opportunities that were going to happen but fall through. Yeah, I was a star in the show, and the coronavirus happened, and after that, it just got completely dropped. I would have been co-stars with Dayton Callie from. Um, he would have been my co-star, Dayton Callie from Deadwood. So I felt so out of my league. Yeah, I mean, how close does it get to that, though? Right? Mm. So more gigs and more opportunities will come. But again, it's tough for everyone in the film industry right now. Right, any questions, anyone, about the healings or anything like that? I wanted to do one more, but I really should go to sleep. It is a school night. I feel unwanted too. You're not alone. You are not alone. You're not alone. What fate doesn't give you, it sometimes protects us from. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, John. That show came maybe a year before I started doing this, between the pandemic and when I started doing this. So if I was on some big television show on a premium network, what would have become of this? Right? I might not have ever thought to do this. So yeah, I wish there was a plan. I hope there is some type of plan. Not exactly. All right, guys, I'm gonna get to sleep. We'll pick it up, and we'll do a lot of these between the time I this quarter's over and before I go to Middlebury. And please, whatever you can donate, book a session. That's just as good too. It's much appreciated. It helps me. If everyone here tonight did $50, or if everyone here tonight did one session, it would pay for all of that stuff. I wouldn't have to worry. But no, it's not nonsense, Jason. It's helping you through a stage of this work that often blindsides people because it's the effects are very strong. The effects are strong. And that's what I mean when I talk about potency of these. When I say these are very potent, I don't necessarily mean this is they're potent in that you're going to feel it. I mean, they're potent in that you're going to feel it at time, sometimes more than others, especially when it's time for that release. So, and I wish some of those people that left would come back, but like I said, that was my fault. Mm, good night. All right, everyone. Good night. I'll see you next tomorrow. I'll see everyone tomorrow. I'll try not to talk so much so we could do 2 sessions. And Kathy says good night, and Fraser says good night. Well, see you.